So this is video T 7.7, and it is kind of a mixed practice second page of it. So you, if you haven't already, turn off the video, do the questions, and then turn it back on. Because you're kind of at the end of tangents and, sorry, you're at the end of trig ratios. So you should have this cased. This should be like, do I really need to do this sheet right now? Well, if you're not strong yet and you want more practice, certainly do. Another option might be to leave this page and just before an exam or a midterm or a final, however that's going to work out, you might want to do it as soon as you do that. Whatever works for you is awesome. Okay, I'm going to start by, I've discovered I like to label all my triangles on one page at once because then I'm only thinking about one thing. So I'm going to start with that. So here's my hypotenuse. Go around my angle. There's my adjacent, and there's opposite. And do the same thing here. There's my hypotenuse, around my angle, so that makes it adjacent and opposite. One last time. There's my, you can't even see. There's my hypotenuse, around angle, which makes this adjacent and this opposite. All right, cool. Now, in this question, I have hypotenuse and I have opposite. Those are the two sides I care about. So hypotenuse and opposite would be sine. So sine theta is opposite over hypotenuse. And I know my angle is 17 degrees. My opposite side, I don't know, but there's a little x there. I'm going to go x. And hypotenuse, I know, is 14.3. I'm not going to put centimeters, but you certainly can if you want. So sine 17 0.2934 is equal to x over 14.3. You got to know if it's you're missing either who can use the big words numerator or denominator. You're going to do the cross multiply, or you can. I always do. So let's go over here. 1x is equal to 0.2934 times 14.3. And like always, I have that, still have the 2934 on my calculator. 20. It's a good thing. Have you guys been yelling at me? I got a little bit of dyslexia here. It's 29, should be 24, not 34. So miss being able to use pencil to do math. But in the grand scheme of things, if I hadn't seen that and used a number on my calculator, my final answer still would have been fine, or is fine. Boom. X is equal to 4.18. And I can see that I had one decimal place. Double check my question, right? There's one decimal place there on 14.3. So X is going to be 4.2, and it was meters. And that makes sense because you can see 17 is, obviously that's the smallest angle in this triangle. And oh goodness, we have the hypotenuse. So this one is definitely smaller than the hypotenuse. And yes, sorry, I was having another moment. I thought I'd make a mistake, but no, it's all good. So we know the hypotenuse, it's shorter. And you can also say that, by the way, this 17 degrees has to be across from the smallest side. So done. All right, what we need here. Okay, we have the adjacent side, and the question is asking me about the hypotenuse. So adjacent and the hypotenuse would be cosine. So cosine theta is adjacent over hypotenuse. And I have an angle of 21 degrees. Adjacent is 18.3. Divided by my hypotenuse, I do not know. All right, checkpoint. I have two numbers and one unknown, so I should be able to solve this. Sorry, I'm so used to my dollar store calculator where you put in the number and then hit cos. On this one, cos and the number. There we go. So 0.9336, 18.3 over hypotenuse. Put that over 1. And we are going to cross multiply. 1 times 18.3 is going to give me 0. We'll go this way. 0.9336 hypotenuse. So 18.3. Right, so this step really is just about organizing. I want to make sure that when I do the crisscross, that I get the right ones matched up. I've seen students that seem to be able to go from this step to like some random step down here. And I say, well, how do you know which number goes on top? And then they stop and go, they have no reason. And so about half the time it's right and half the time it's wrong, and they're so upset. So don't be cheap. Take the time, set it up, cross multiply. Kind of powerful. Let's just divide. 0.9336. 18.3 divided by 0.9336. 19.6. And I can see, okay, I'm paying attention now because even I'm getting tired of writing the extra stuff out. My picture is 1 decimal as an answer, so I will use 1 decimal as an answer. And this said meters, so I should tuck a little meters in there. And I solve for my hypotenuse. Now it looks like that was an R, so just to be safe, I would be happy with hypotenuse, but I don't know what your instructor is like. Maybe they're going to be really fussy and they want to say, well, good for you, but what's R? Well, let's just throw that in there. We're safe. And since the hypotenuse, it is bigger than the 18.3, so we're good. Last one, what do we got? What do we got? What do we got? We've got hypotenuse and adjacent. And it looks like we are looking for an angle, but adjacent hypotenuse is cos. In this case, we don't know what the angle is. I'm going to assume that's a theta down there. I don't know. Even on my printout, it's not clear what that is. So adjacent is 135 over 200. Oh, I forgot what I was going to say. There's my check spot. So 1 variable, 2 numbers known. And because I have them set like this and it's cos, the 135 is the smaller of the 2's on top. .675. And then we go second and cos. All right, so theta is equal to 47. All right, whoopsie, 0.54 of theta, 38 degrees. Ta-da! And now you've done all mixed review. I'm hoping by now that this has got to the point where you're bored and it's so easy. Okay, so practice, practice, practice. And maybe in a couple of weeks, pull this stuff out, do an extra question or two. Have an awesome day.